Hey Orchestra, today we are going to be working in your String Basics books on page 6 and 7. Something a little bit different than some of our other lessons where I've done a different video for each instrument. This week we're going to use the same video for all instruments. You'll see that violin music is up on the screen today. However, you can just follow along in your own String Basics book so that you can kind of look at your music as we're going through and understanding this. So, the big thing that we are doing this week is we are taking everything that we learned on page 4 and 5 and we're smushing it all together. So we learned how to read the notes D, we learned how to read the note A, and we also learned how to read half notes and quarter notes. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that all together. Number 11 and 12 you may have been assigned last week, but if you weren't assigned it last week, we're still going to go over it today. Let's start down here at number 12. So before I would do number 12, of course, we always want to do our practice method of say, sing, play 5 times. This is very important this week because of everything that we're putting together here in one place. So looking here at number 12, if we start this on say, we're going to hear it ta, 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 rest, rest, ta, 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 rest, rest. So you see we've got some quarter notes, some half notes, so we're going to have to change the way that we play those. We also see that we're jumping around quite a bit more. We start on A and go to D. Make sure that you check that with your instrument. Basses, you're going to be starting on the lower A, while violin, viola, and cello, you're starting on the higher A. So we have A, A, D. So here we go. 2, ready, and sing. A, A, D, D, A. Rest, rest. D, D, A, D, rest, rest. Then we take it and we go to play. The important part of this whole thing is we want to make sure that as we are doing this, we are not looking at our instrument. We set up by looking at our instrument before to make sure that our fingers are exactly where they need to go. Once we look at the music, we super glue our eyes to that music and make sure we do not look away. If we make a mistake, we're not going to look over here to try and figure out how to fix it. We're going to simply use our ear, use our fingers, and try and find the right spot until we get back on track. So here we go. I find my A string, eyes on the music, 2, ready, and go. Rest, rest. Rest, rest. Very good. As we continue down this page, we're going to continue working on the same sort of ideas on all these different pieces. But by putting different rhythms and different notes in different orders, you get all sorts of new pieces of music that you can play and participate in. We get here to 13, 14, and 15, and here at the end of these, we see this new symbol right here. This is called a repeat sign. Okay? A repeat sign means we're going to repeat the piece again. We're not going to repeat it 15 times, we're going to repeat it once. So we will see this repeat sign at the end of a piece of music. It's going to be a double bar line, which normally means end, like we see right here. But here we're going to see that double bar line with 2 dots. When we see that double bar line with 2 dots, it means you're going to go back and repeat that piece one more time. So we're going to go from here back to here and play it all over again. So when you practice at home, you're going to make sure that you play through that piece twice. Now, that will count as 2 times of practicing your piece in your say, sing, play 5 times. So if you play through the piece 3 times, you're actually going to have 6 different repeats, and that will definitely cover your say, sing, play 5 times. Adding an extra repeat isn't a bad thing. It gives you that little bit of extra practice here. One important thing, when you do a repeat, make sure you don't pause. There is no rest here. There is no break here. You need to go from here right back to here. So again, a very important thing to keep your eyes on the music and actually to maybe jump your eyes back to that beginning ahead of time. I'm going to jump right into the play stage here so that you can hear how this works. So I start off on the D. And repeat. You see, I go right back to it. just like that. You did hear I made a little mistake there. I accidentally hit my D string instead of my A string at the end, but I didn't stop. I didn't freak out. I didn't go back. We want to, even when we make a mistake, we want to keep going just like we didn't make a mistake until the end. Then after you go back, after you finish the piece, you're going to go back and say, oh, I made a mistake right here. Let's see if I can fix it. Okay, I got it right that time. Now let's go back and let's try this again for our third and fourth time and do it all over again. Okay? Down here on number 17, Steps to Learning Theory, this is where you get to start using a pencil in your book. Okay? Anytime you see one of these little footsteps right here, these footsteps means that you're going to have to pull out a pencil. So we start off with learning how to write your clef here. Follow the directions for your different clefs, okay? For a violin, you're going to be writing an alto clef, a treble clef, which will look something similar to this. Notice it's not beautiful artwork. I'm not looking for beautiful artwork here. I'm looking just for the basic concept. For violas, you're going to be doing an alto clef where you're going to have 2 lines and then a symbol that looks similar to a B. If I had a finer tip pencil here, it would look a little bit prettier than that. And then cellos and basses, you're going to be writing a bass clef, which looks like a backwards C with 2 little dots around the line. So make sure that you do that. You're going to do 3 of each of these. You're going to draw 3 of your clefs. You're going to draw 3 quarter note Ds, wherever that belongs for your instrument. And you're going to do 3 half note As, wherever that belongs for your instrument. One thing that's very, very important when you are drawing notes is to make sure that if you're drawing a space note, that note is entirely contained within the space, and then you draw your stem on second. If you're drawing a line note, make sure that you are only hitting the line. That's not a very good line note right there because it looked like a space and a line note. We want to try and get it right in the middle of the line, just like that. So that you can tell it's a line note and not be confused. Continuing on to page 7. On page 7, we do have a couple new things going on here. We have first a whole note that gets 4 beats of sound, similar to when we did the half notes with pizzicato. What we're going to do with this is we are going to let that just ring for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? It's not going to sustain very well, especially for violins and violas. Cellos and basses, you're going to hear your notes sustain a whole lot longer here, okay? So just let it ring for 4 beats. Once we get the bow in a couple weeks, it's going to sound a whole lot better when we get to that, okay? So we continue on. Number 19, you get 3 different pieces. This is a trio. So we can actually put together and have 3 different people playing the music at the same time. You see that the bar line goes through all 3 lines. That means that 3 different people are going to play. 1 person playing the A, 1 person playing the B, 1 person playing the C. At home, you're not going to get the opportunity to do that unless you have a family member that can also play along with you. However, we do have this cool thing. If you download the IPS app, and you can find information for the IPS app, and in the back cover of your book is information about the IPS app, and there should be a code listed in this book. You can go through with your parents, figure out how to download and put that app onto a device at home or onto a computer at home, and you can play along. When you can play along with it, it gives you a group to play along with. We simply click on this little speaker right here, and it's going to pop up a thing on the side of the screen.
2, 3, 4.
And you can hear this part that you can play along. If there's a repeat, it will follow along with the repeat. So that's a great way to practice. You don't want to practice that way at the beginning of the week when you're first doing Say, Sing, Play on it, but after you've done Say, Sing, Play 3 or 4 days, this is a great way to practice and a fun way to practice. And you can do it on all the different pieces. Some are jazz, some are classical, some are fiddle, some are rock. You never know what your accompaniment is that you're going to get. Some really, really fun ways to practice there. Okay? We also have here where we get some quarters and some wholes. Make sure when you do the whole, again, you say ta. Feel the 4 full beats there. Singing along with it. Tee. Hey, 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 hey. so on and so forth. 21, you have a duet. So once again, practice the A line just like it's one piece of music. Practice the B line just like it's one piece of music. And if you get a chance and can play along with a family member or a friend, it's a great way to have some fun. And then we get down here to number 22, your next test line, crazy counting. A great way to go back and forth. Lots of fun adventure here to go back and forth. So have fun this week. Practice.